Man, this dude here has been a surprise to many, the way he's throwing the football. He's winning with his legs, but also with his arm.
Week 17 last year is when Mayfield and the Browns almost beat the Ravens, and it was an amazing game, a great game. The Browns trying to get back to their 2018 form. Having lost 2 of the first 3, the Ravens would love to really stick it to them, Mike Garafolo.
That's right, Rich, and the Browns are going to have to slow down Lamar Jackson in this offense. And one of the keys for Cleveland today is how they defend 3rd and longs, because most teams will play at the sticks and say, we'll give up yardage, just don't give them the first down. The Browns are taking the opposite approach. They know the Ravens, they're not shy about running the ball, or running, as one Cleveland staffer told me, 1st and 2nd down plays, because then they'll go for it on 4th down. The Ravens 5 for 7 on 4th down. Since Lamar Jackson has taken over, no team has run the ball more on 3rd down than the Baltimore Ravens. So look for that today as Cleveland tries to stay stingy on 3rd down, Rich.
Make you think.
Right, Mike, thanks very much. And that's how we're kicking off hour number 4, taking you to the kickoff of this game and the rest of the early games. A just huge game in the AFC North. The Ravens win. They are 3-1 with a tiebreak already up on the Browns. If the Browns win, they are 2-2 heading into the teeth of some very difficult opponents of their schedule. They really need it with Freddie Kitchens there. And in Cleveland, a lot of folks in the media there wondering if he is thinking about giving up the play calling. He said an emphatic no to that. We all know that Baker Mayfield has been throwing some picks more over the last few games than not. So this is how we kick things off in hour number 4 about the game plan for the Browns to save their season against the Ravens today.
Well, it's all about the quarterback. We all know that. Here's the question, Rich. Is Baker Mayfield going through a sophomore slump, or is he going through a sophomore overconfidence? Okay, I had a guy named Favre, okay, in his first year with the Packers. He made the Pro Bowl, and all of a sudden he was so confident he was going to make every throw there was and force the ball like crazy. His next year he led the league in interceptions. And Baker Mayfield, as you know, idolizes Brett Favre. That was his mentor growing up, kind of thing. All right, but he's got to learn to take what they give him, check it down, be more careful with the football. He's a risk taker, and Favre had to learn the same thing. And it was a year or two before he became the MVP of the league 3 years in a row. But he went through it, forcing the ball, learning that I can't make every throw, and Baker's got to do that.
Game plan for the Browns: play like a Raven. And I say that because I say run the ball first, play action second, and then drop back and throw it all over the yard third. Is that, I think they've got away from really what made them good down the stretch, designing the big plays off of play action. Now they're dropping back. They're trying to create them in the drop back game. They're not as good up front. They need to establish the run game, keep Lamar Jackson and company on the sideline, play action to get their big plays, and then when they drop back, get the ball out of your hands quickly. He wants to bail. I'm talking about Baker Mayfield wants to bail. Get out of the pocket quick anyways. Get back, get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and then pick your poison and pick your shots down the field off of play action.
They do have problems up front, Kurt, and I watched when they played the Rams, when the Browns played the Rams. I watched what Freddie Kitchens did. He had that ball coming out of Baker's hand right now, under 2.5 seconds, right now. I was like, why don't you do this all the time? You know why? Because gunslingers get tired of the 2 and the 3 yards, and they want to go up the field. But don't get tired of what works. It was working. You just get the ball out of your hands. When that pressure gets back to Baker, Baker's too small. Those exos you show, he couldn't see Odell Beckham wide open because all of that pressure gets right in his face. Get the ball out of his hands quickly, and then go some double moves off those.
And I always think it's interesting. You have Baker, and you talk about his confidence. You got Freddie Kitchens, who came in as the OC last year and did all those great things offensively. And sometimes you can fall into that trap. Well, okay, I got to live up to that mantra of being a great offensive mind or being a great quarterback. And I always look back to Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels out there and just say to myself, everybody always talks about how great they are as a team and how great McDaniels is at designing things. They take the 5-yard throw. They take the 6-yard throw. They take the 7-yard throw. They're not doing all this fancy stuff and making the big plays, but they're still talked about as being the best in the league. But sometimes you buy into the genius, and I got to be a genius. Right. No, you just have to be successful.
There's something to be said about the play caller and the quarterback being on the same page over long term, like you and Mike Martz. Yep. You kind of anticipate the call, you know what is expected, and you don't deviate too much. It's important.
Yeah. Meanwhile, way back in Nashville on